I can feel the breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to appear. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, and if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Well, there'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. And he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Click on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here at Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation Pride.
All right, what's up, everybody? Good morning. It's Monday. Feels like Monday. It's always so hard. I don't think I typed Monday once today, though. I usually really mess that up the day after a day off. But no Monday yet. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Louis did. He's still tired. This is my man Louis. How's everybody doing? We're going to talk tropics. It's our daily brew. Something brewing out there. Invest 95. Probably going to be Lee. Maybe by 11. And I got a doctor's appointment at 10:45. That means I can't update the website until I get home. So don't hate. That was the only doctor's time they had, 10:45. I'm like, the NHC does not care about my doctor's schedule. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Idalia. We got somebody there, Melissa from Live Oak. How's it looking up there? I know Furman crew's up there, boots on the ground, doing some amazing work. Props to my good buddy Jason and Greg. They have made a huge impact helping folks out. State of Florida shared that even, so I'm so proud to be partnered with them. So that was good of them. Yeah, so let's say hi to people. This is our daily brew. Hope we had a great Labor Day weekend. I did. We were at Margaritaville in Auburndale the damn day Jimmy died. What are the chances of that? That was such a somber morning to wake up to, but we still had a good time. Met a lot of amazing fans. I've never met more people. Campers must be MWP fans because I think half that campground followed our page. Met a funny crew that was handing out these little babies. So Julie went to do the laundry this morning and there was a pocket full of babies in my pocket. Those would have made some clunking noises, no doubt. They would have clunk, 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 clunk. So if you ever go to Margaritaville, Auburndale, and you see little babies, think of our page because that was kind of funny. But we had a great time. We're going to be going back soon. Maybe Halloween. I heard Halloween was a wonderful time. So our daily brew brought to you by our great friends at ABC. Did you see the commercial yet that they've been airing with their storm supplies, Florida? Hopefully you got to see it. It's all over the place. Very thankful that they are big supporters of our page and they have a little fun along the way. It's always pretty cool, no doubt. Let's leave this up here. So we got a lot of people, recovering from Idalia. It's terrible. Some of those, Keaton Beach, Cedar Key, Steenhatchee, along the coast, the flooding. That video I showed earlier was Ada. Nothing compares to Idalia now. The flooding that we've had up and down the West Coast, everything I was yakking about, I just don't see any news about it. But I'm seeing little clips on TikTok here and there. Like my Whiskey Joe's was completely underwater. It looked like it was in the middle of the ocean. Saw videos like that all the way up and down the coast. So, but then of course inland we got a lot of power, issues. It's going to take some time. A lot of those little roads, a lot of power pulls down. The numbers don't show because there wasn't a lot of population up there. The devastation's just widespread, but luckily, if there is anything good news, there wasn't a lot of people. But the ones that are affected don't care. They're dealing with it all the way up to Valdosta area. Terrible. But hey, real quick, so we got a lot of supporters of our page. A lot of docks, Decks and Docks, a big supporter of ours. They're located all the way through the whole country. Great company, loves our page. They do obviously specialize in docks. Don't forget them. If you got to deal with insurance companies, Coastal Claims, Frank's been a long time supporter. He's been a sponsor of our NASCAR at Daytona. They'll help you get the most amount of money. Locally, Palm Harbor area, Pinellas, Pasco, Hillsboro, Dunright Roofing. If we had any roof damage from Idalia, please give them a call. They're big fans of our page. We only really associate ourselves anymore with people that like our page and are fans. So that's pretty cool though. And then one more, Louis, what are you doing? He's like grabbing my finger here. And then one more sponsor we got we're proud of. We've been looking for a window company, Direct Remodels, over on YouTube, specialize in hurricane storm doors. So there you go. A little plug for our supporters. If you're looking for people, if you tell them you're an MWP fan, they probably will give you a priority over a non-MWP fan. All right, there's a lot of buzz in the tropics. So we got to talk about it. Oh my God. After we have a big one, the focus always shifts to the next one. So we got Invest 95 out here. This is the first one. They have not invested this one yet. I'm surprised. I don't know what's going on with this guy up here. Louis looking at it like confused too. But we're going to focus only on Invest 95, the first one out here. It'll probably be named very soon. It's got the look. It's coming together. Very tropical looking. I'm surprised. It's a 100% chance in the NHC. I'm surprised they haven't done it already. I'm really wondering. They took a long time to designate this a TD, really, honestly, because a couple days ago we had all kinds of things popping up that were like little clouds. We had Gert, we had Franklin. Well, Franklin was big. We had Gert, Emily came back again. We had Kadia, Jose. This will be Lee, and it's expected to be a major hurricane. For sure. Let me show you some of the latest spaghetti models on tropical tidbits, and then we're going to dive into things. So, the hair forecast is 10 out of 10. All right. So the buzz. There's a lot of buzz about this thing, and rightfully so. We're going to have a Category 5 possibly. I mean, there's some models showing a Category 5. That is monster. Latest spaghetti models just came out on tropicaltidbits.com right here. So things are consistent. I like consistency, right? Consistency on top, running the top side of the Caribbean. Timing's going to put it here in 96 hours. That would be the weekend. So if it does make any unexpected turns, it would be around this weekend right here. But it's trending to the north. And models are trending it towards Bermuda. Potentially major hurricane. Very, very, very few are trending to the continental U.S. Very few. So yes, it's always a possibility. Yes, but I gotta be careful because there's this fine line of wish casting. You sometimes feel it's like sometimes the news is like willing it to happen, and I gotta be careful. That might have been me in the past, but I'm just being honest with what I'm seeing. A lot of comparisons to Florence. Now here, let me show you Florence. Back when Florence was way over yonder here, look at these ensembles. light pink is European ensembles. They were everywhere showing the East Coast. We had spaghetti models going every which way. This was mass confusion on Florence. So until we start seeing signs to create alarm that, hey, we might have something to watch, I'm not seeing it yet. I mean, upper air patterns change, frontal lines get weaker. Yeah, Irma did the same thing. So watching it, but I'm not going to make up scenarios right now to try to, Now, this is why we were telling people in Florence to watch it close, because there was mass confusion. These are your spaghetti models when Florence was down at 45 degrees. Long way away, right? Kind of in the same spot Invest 95 is. Difference being Invest 95 has a little more confidence right now. So no reason to be alarmed on the Florida East Coast northward because not seeing it. So wanted to point that out. Another model I want to point out is this. This was Irma back in the day. Irma was expected to go on the East Coast. This is off of an old site. Somebody on Twitter shared it this morning. I don't even know what site it is. But Irma's another one that tracked a little more west. So, yes, always potential. That's why you can't ever say never in the tropics, But I don't know, like, when do I sound the alarm? Because if I was to say, look out East Coast, there's no support for that right now, Even Irma back here was showing a few through Florida and the East Coast. So the bottom line is way too far away to be certain. But if you had to make a call, yes or no, right now the trend is off the East Coast of the U.S. as of now. But, man, never write it. I guess I see two things going online right now. I see it's going to 100% miss U.S., and there's another camp saying it's going to hit the U.S. I'm just saying no one knows. So that's where we're at on that one. What else did I have open up here? Oh, then we got the famous A-Bear box. Thought it'd be important to show you that. We haven't talked about the A-Bear box this year, but it's a theory that major hurricanes that pass in these boxes usually hit Florida. So that's just, if you like history and like tidbits like that, the A-Bear box could pass through the A-Bear box. And historically, a lot of those storms do end up hitting Bahamas and Florida on this A-Bear box. So there you go. Just wanted to point that out. Not that it means anything, but let's dive into all the models real quick. So let me show you all the latest ensembles here on Weather Nerds. But let me first say hi to some people because I don't like to ramble too much unless I have to. Let's just leave this up. There we go. 90%. That's where we're at. Remember, I got to leave a little earlier. I got to go get my recap of my colonoscopy. So, yep, Chris, completely agree, buddy. Cold fronts, our system is relying on a cold front that's coming down. And there will be a weakness that allows this thing to turn. But if this thing ends up being weaker and high pressure builds back in, then, we got to wonder if it goes a little more west. So all the modeling now is assuming that this cold front coming down, and granted, it's going to be 10 days, like 10 days somewhere around here. That's the current look. That's a lot of things can happen in a week plus. But we look for consistency with models and ensembles and, don't want to raise the threat level up until there's a reason to, I guess. That's the point. I mean, because if you kind of just said, hey, it's going to hit, if you kind of said it was going to hit east with no, I mean, I live and die by the models. Models to me are everything. That's why I bought the site Spaghetti Models. I love computer models. And until we start to see the models, they have brains too. So anyway, all right. CMC showing about the same, Joe. I'm going to show you all of them. Yep, sometimes cold fronts fizzle out. Yes, but the one that pulled up Idalia did not. And sometimes we start to see a pattern developing, right? What was that? I think Hunter's on a chair. Sometimes Emily puts Hunter on Julie's desk chair and forgets to take him off, and he sits there all day waiting for me. Yeah, sometimes, but we just had a cold front, so maybe this, maybe we're getting into the cold front season. We had a cold front, so that's what pulled Idalia. Pulled it fast too, for sure. So what's up, Heather? Morning, Brenna. Morning. I meet any of y'all at Margaritaville. That was the funnest place in the planet. Let me tell you, it was a great time. Great time. Great time. Great time. Go do a little softball this weekend. We're heading down to Boca Raton. U.S. Virgin Islands, Adam, watch close. So far, it looks like it's going to clip to your north. Anybody ready for Halloween yet? I was Googling big skeletons today. Matthew, I don't think the models are any better, honestly. Euro hasn't changed much. I think the GFS has gotten a little worse. I think the H-Worth's gotten a little better. I think Canadian models have gotten a lot better. Icon's really good. But yeah, we're gonna be digging up bones. Wasn't that a Randy Travis song, Digging Up Bones? Well, I got bones in our attic, so we're gonna be digging up bones. I love Randy Travis. Digging up bones. Halloween time is near. We got to go to Talladega first, and then we'll decorate. Maybe we'll decorate. I don't forget September 5th, man. Time is flying. Are mums out yet? I need to know that. I'm a mums kind of guy. If the mums are out, man, I'm ready for fall. Because the only hurricane prep we did was took our pots around our tree and moved them by the front door. So now I'm going to replace them with mums and some hay. So anyway, all right. El Garage, agree. We use Florence all the time as an example. But there was a lot of models showing the turn, the possible not recurve. There was a lot of them. Lorenzo, Crystal River. Thank you. I was devastated to see the amount of flooding in Crystal River. I just could not believe it. Mums are out, Kenneth says. All right, well, I'm going to pick some up. I don't know. We're playing at the college. What college is down there? There's a nice one. I can never remember where the hell we're going. I know Barry's coming and somebody else. I don't know. It's at one of the colleges. It's a scrimmage. Not FAU. A lot of FAUs. Heck, I don't know. Let me look here. It's Rock. No, what the hell are we going to? Man, I can't. I always ask Julie. I don't ever remember. And then we're playing Sunday at Boca. Lynn University. I think we're at Lynn University. Does that make sense? Lynn University. Lynn. Look at all the Lynn fans. Look at all you YouTubers over there. All right, so let's talk about all the Puerto Rico, Jacob. It's looking like a little to your north. So, anyway, all right. So we'll expect this thing to be named. Let me show you all the latest models real quick. Let's start out with the latest. These are your ensemble plots. These are on weathernerds.org. All right. So the only difference I noticed today than I noticed yesterday was there was 51 out of 51 European ensembles saying this thing's going to turn towards Bermuda and miss the East Coast. Today there was, guess what? There was 4 out of 51 that said it might go a little more west. So peg my curiosity a little bit. High pressure a little stronger, frontal line a little weaker, goes a little more west. So that's the only big change I noticed is a little bit more European ensemble saying maybe things are 12Z. Let me tell you right now what I've learned. 12Z comes out. Guess what? We get a little bit more. Now we're dealing with a Florence. We're dealing with an Irma. We're seeing there's becoming a little more possibility this thing could head closer to the Bahamas and the East Coast U.S. So that was the only big change, I guess, overnight was the Euro had a few more ensembles going west. The, latest 5-day, tremendous support that this thing goes north of the Caribbean. So 100%, I don't know. but that's pretty darn close. Confidence this thing's going north. These are your euros, by the way. GFS, which we don't look at them very often because they're usually wrong, but in this case, it's backing up the euro. Could be a northeast threat. Never know these things. We're kind of doing these things in stages: Caribbean, Bermuda, East Coast, then the north. Again, there's 31 members of the GFS, and 2 of those are doing a little stray action. So 31 plus 51 is what? 83, 82. Out of 82, there's 6. So far, there's high confidence this thing curves. That's as of now, but it's worth pointing out. That's how I do things. Again, here's the GFS 5-day ensembles and going pretty high. So Caribbean, yeah, you're looking so far so kind of good. We'll see. So that's what we like to see, confidence in the models. Let's look at some other things. So it all comes down to timing. I want to show you this graphic because I always forgot. It's on the very, 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 very bottom here. This guy right here. I like. Ooh, did they designate our system? I think they might have Invest 96 our other system. That one's going north. All right, so this graphic's kind of neat. This is from the FSU meteorology department. This is kind of neat. This is showing you current placement of our 95 right here, like that. And it's a kind of a rule of thumb kind of estimation of where our system could be if it was going to hit continental U.S. I say continental U.S. because there's a lot of people watching the Virgin Islands, and they remind me that they're U.S. and Puerto Rico, so I say continental U.S. That's why I say it. To end all confusion. So this is a cool map. Look at the color guide. I apologize if you're colorblind because I don't know what to tell you. But this is the range that this little spot's in, and 10 to 12 days. So if it was to hit continental U.S., it'd be 10 to 12 days from where it's at right now. Based on history. Now, things are always different, but it's a good rule of thumb. 10 to 12 days from now, if it was going to do anything, more than likely. So that's a long way away, if it even considered that. So if you're wondering timing and how long it would, when it would be here, then obviously, then you subtract, like, okay, where would we be here? Well, 3 or 4 days, so it'd be like 7 days right here. So, this weekend, 5 days, 7, like that. So that way, we got people in the Caribbean going on cruises, 7 days from now, it could be maybe around here. So if you're on a cruise middle of next week, then maybe you're dealing with it. So anyway, it's on the side. It's a little confusing, but it works. It does the job. If you're kind of curious, did they invest this thing? I don't know. All right, let's look at all the models here. Let's take a looky. All the latest operational models here. We'll start out with tropical tidbits and take a look at the euro. Let's get some coffee. Okay. What's up, Mr. Mikey? Trisha, don't be nervous. We got plenty of time. Colleen, the GFS 12Z might have had something, but the golf isn't really showing much right now. I'm not going to worry too much about it. There's not really anything solid enough to bring up. So, all right. So here's the latest operational models. It's fun to compare things. Yep, Invest 96, Peyton. Thank you. So we have to update the site, Invest 96. But that one's going to go north in the open Atlantic. All right. Cuban coffee, Hurricane Man. No, I'm drinking Dunkin', I think. My buddy Chad's coffee. It goes to my mom and dad's house. This is more Dunkin'. I don't know where we got them. They're K-Cup. I noticed some mold on my K-Cup thing too. I don't know if I should clean it or not. All right, so here's what we got. European. We're going to focus on this guy right here, and we're going to show you how it's going to go a little north of the islands. And here is Friday night. This is the 6Z, 971, strong hurricane, trending a little north of the islands. Go back to 00Z in the same timestamp, almost the exact same spot. And we got an approaching frontal line. You can see it in the picture here, right there. This is what is going to pick up, possibly pull up, and possibly turn. But look at the strength. 937, 931, 928. It had it down to like 917. That's strong hurricane. 925. So, there's our turn. A little bit of weakening as that front comes along, but man, it's smack dab over top of Bermuda right now, and that's 10 days out right there. So if you go fast forward 10 days from now, that's a week from Thursday right there. Boom, long way away. Look at yesterday's 12Z run, and almost the exact same spot. Maybe a little west, a tick west. I saw that earlier, and I was like, whatever. But there you go. There's yesterday. I wanted to point that out. There's yesterday. Here's today. Little tick west. We'll see what the 12Z does. But there's no reason to make anything up right now when there's absolutely nothing to back it. So there's over 24 hours ago, 00Z the 4th. And here's last night. So they wiggled. Very, very tight thinking here that the Euro sees with a front and eventual turn to the north coming. Now, it doesn't mean that this high here, this is what happened with Sandy back in the day. See that big old H? Well, that H ended up here, blocked our system, and it had nowhere to go. Not to say that can't happen. I mean, we're going past 10 days here. It's impossible to know for anything. But just to bring up the Sandy folks, there was a high here. The high raced over, blocked the door. Some of the models had to do this, some had to do that, and it ended up doing that. Always a scenario. Always a scenario. But there's no point in showing any of that until we start to see any possibility. So we're just watching, Yeah, it could happen. And here's the MDS 96 curving away. And that's been pretty confident. It's coming off at an angle, and it's more than likely going to do that. Nothing in the Gulf popping up. That's really the only thing we're watching right now. All right, the latest Canadian model. Keep it north of the islands. Here's Saturday morning. And starts to react to that front with a little bit of turn. Right there. That's a Canadian. Little turn. There's our frontal line. Even the GFS is showing it. GFS is a little late to the party, but it's still pretty much doing the exact same thing. It's going a little closer. It is going a little closer to the East Coast. So, just like I mentioned a second ago, you never stop watching. GFS not turning it out to see it's quick could be a Northeast issue, and that would be, holy cow, that'd be like 12 days away. 10 days, at least 10 days away right there. So there you go. I mean, that's what we got. We can't really go past that. There's no point. I'm not going to speculate anything. Here's the icon. The weekend boom right here. So you got a lot of consistency here. This is what we're looking at. And then the icon gets tricky. Icon's never the best tracking model, but I didn't want to show it. This is kind of showing you that one scenario with the high pressure building back in. So Icon's not the best tracking model, but it's kind of doing what could happen would be high pressure kind of builds back in, and that front's not as strong. So it's definitely the outlier, but it goes on that common theme. Nothing set in stone. Some of your hurricane models are out. H-Wharf Parent and it's showing you a north track above the islands, and it doesn't go out very far. It only goes out 126, maybe 00Z a little farther. Nope, 126. So here's this weekend north of the islands. The HAFS did really good, and it's exactly the same spot. And look at that, 922, man. That is unbelievable pressure. And there you go, north of the islands. So there's a lot of consistency that it's at least going to be above the Caribbean. Frontal line coming down, picks it up. That's what, Bermuda's watching. That's kind of the majority at this moment. So, and you can see that front coming down on a lot of the models. If we go to upper level winds, you can see it. Hold on, I just got a text. I gotta see who this is here. What is this? Jason, should I play this? Hold on a minute. My buddy Furman just sent me this. I better turn it down.
My name is Bo Joyner. I live here in Lake City, Florida. Right after Idalia came at 7:18 in the morning, the power failed. My $3,000 generator just installed 3 months ago has came on every month at the wrong time.
Oh, he's so much.
But failed me 3 minutes into a power failure, and generator will not see me for 2 months. So what's that for storm protection and power failure protection?
Jason's on the ground, hearing stories from folks in Crystal River. All right, well, hey, listen, there you go. Could have hit Florida, and I don't know. Nobody knows. There's a lot of hype, though, on TikTok. I can tell you what. Lots of folks telling everybody it's going to be something nobody knows. It all comes down to upper level, steering patterns. Like I said, there's a front coming down. It's going to react to that and lift and turn at this moment. Yes, it always can happen where the high gets a little stronger and then it decides to go more west. Nobody knows that right now. Nobody knows. So it'd be irresponsible to say, yes, it's going to hit Carolina. But, we do things in stages here. This weekend, still 5 days away. That's still long. Caribbean's looking okay. Bermuda needs to be watching really, really close. Does it turn? We'll see. Anyway, Jessica's a big TikToker, I see. What's up, Loretta Reed? Good morning. You should believe TikTok, because I'm on TikTok. I love it. It's my second biggest platform right now. I got 240,000 followers on there now. No, 231, sorry. My last video I did a minute ago is already up to 31,000 views. I don't even get near that anywhere else. So make sure you follow me over there. I do a couple updates a week or a day, not a week, couple a day. I just did one this morning. It's everything we just talk about in a nutshell. That's why I have a nutshell hat. So yeah, nothing to be nervous about, everybody. I mean, seriously, you can't be nervous about something nobody knows, right? I mean, all we did with Florence is say, hey, it's not a guarantee it's going to recurve. That's at this same point. There, the difference with Florence was there was a lot of models, even the beginning, that were showing a east and a north. So we had a lot of confusion in the models. There's not really a lot of confusion in the models right now. So there's not enough validity to really get too worked up right now, because there's not anything. Now, like I said, if noon comes around, we start to see models, reading long range a little different. But it's going to be a major hurricane, it looks like. 920 millibar is about as strong as they get. So we're going to see what it looks like. What it could look like, too, by the way, on satellite. It would be quite impressive here with the Euro, if you want to look at what it could potentially look like entering the Caribbean. Let's take a look here, Central America. Let's do Caribbean and look at what it might look like. So this is what it could look like. This would be Friday night, Saturday morning. This is estimated satellite. Lance, I see your little thing pop up. I might be able to do that, man. Look at that massive system here, man. That's just incredible. But then it turns. Could weaken a little bit. The Euro is definitely on point with Idalia weakening right before landfall. Not a lot, but it weakened. Went through an eye wall replacement. It really lost a little bit right before landfall. So European is showing a little bit of weakening as it turns northward towards Bermuda. But we'll see what it does, right? There's that frontal line coming down. Let's see a better look at the frontal line. And we do, I guess we'll just do this one right here. That's 60 probably. No, that's all right. You can see that front right here. Boom. Clear as day. Frontal line picking it up. So it all depends on this guy right here. If that front doesn't happen, then it'll go more west. Doesn't look like our system's going to be weak. If our system was weaker now, it would go a little more west before it would get picked up by this frontal line. But it doesn't look like it's getting weaker. So it definitely looks like it's on the verge of becoming Lee. Firing away, clearing itself out. Clear spinach here. I assume I haven't even looked at it, but there you go. You can see it right here already. Coming in the picture right there. Boom. Broke away from the monsoon trough there, the intertropics convergence zone. 850 probably really, yeah, see, look pretty good. Look pretty strong. Little weakness in the upper atmosphere allowing this thing to possibly curve north. A lot of stuff going on here in the Atlantic. Old leftovers and not a true strong Bermuda high setting up right now. There's all kinds of leftovers. Idalia leftover, Franklin leftovers, Gert leftovers. So then we got Invest 96. So I'll put those on the website too, but it looks like it's nothing to worry about. In fact, we can go Tropical Tidbits, take a look. Oh, it takes a little longer sometimes. But here are some ensembles at least. These are your Canadian ensembles and your GFS ensembles. So they're pretty much locked in. This Invest 96 is not going to head west. Heat's back. Hazardous heat, 9.7, 9.8, Texas and Louisiana. High pressure is locked in over top of us again. Boom, boom, boom. Big old H. Check this rain map out for the next several days. We got no rain coming. No rain. Check this out. 24-hour rain map. There's your rains today. Zippo pretty much for everybody on the East Coast, all the way up to Maine, all the way down through Florida. Rain tomorrow. Zippo. Almost nothing. Rain on Thursday. Nothing. Rain on Friday, almost nothing. Saturday, almost nothing. Sunday, almost nothing. So for your next 5 days at least, we have almost no rain here across the southeast. Light green is like 0.1. It's not even measurable. Blue is a half an inch. So we got almost no rain to speak of for 5 days across the Gulf region. Storms today up north. We do have some storms to watch out for today. Severe weather outlook up north, a little bit in the middle part of the U.S. Tomorrow, same. Thursday, kind of moves off to the northeast. That's because our high is blocking things and keeping that flow of storms to the north. So there's our story of the year right there. High pressure on the south, storms to the north. Today could be a little feisty up there in the north. Little tornado chances maybe up there in Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Maybe a little bit of chances. Big wind and maybe some big hail. Right there's hail. That's that. What else we got weather-wise? Nothing really. Check out the anomaly map here. I love looking at this kind of stuff. This is on Tropical Tidbits. We could take a look at the Tropical Atlantic Oh, not that one. How about North Atlantic? There we go. Open in a new tab. Look, boom. So here's your temperature anomaly, and this is because of all that storms that we had out there in the Atlantic. So it actually cooled the waters. That's probably why the Euro is showing future Hurricane Lee weakening, because of the cooler water. So the cooler water was upwelling from the past week of storms that we had huddled out there. You know, nothing was really, I mean, Franklin was major, and it pulled up a lot of cool water. So it's a great map to show how all those storms we just had brought up a lot of cooler, colder water. So, you know, we're going to have some, it looks like our system's going to intensify quick, and then it could weaken because partly due to that. I wanted to bring that up. So if you some of the models showing it weaken as it nears Bermuda, if it goes that direction or not. But that's a pretty neat map to show you how the water temperature was cooled off by our storms. So that's about it. I went over it all. Don't be late, Shelly says. That's right. So there'll probably be maybe possibly Lee at 11 or TD, whatever we're up to now. I'll be a little late updating things, but it's so far away it won't really matter too much. Okay. Cool. All right. Anything else we can talk about? Drought map for U.S. Jamie, I surely can. I got it on the very bottom left of the page here. Thursday they update these maps, so obviously the south is not good for Texas and Louisiana. You can click on regions and see. Once you click on Texas there, it's going to pull up the Louisiana, some, and Mississippi. So yeah, exceptional drought there, South Texas and Louisiana, and some into Mississippi there. Florida still, ironically, has like a teeny little section here showing red, which is teeny weeny, but it's still there. We've had a crazy drought here on the west central part of Florida all year long. Now we're starting to get in the panhandle a little bit. How could you all be in a drought as much rain as you had this whole year? Didn't it seem like it rained every damn day? Didn't Kid Rock said it? I ain't seen the sun in 3 damn days. But we had this high pressure system just blocked in here, and keeping rains out of the west central Florida. Still drought. I can't believe it. Still extreme drought. Parts of Manatee, Sarasota. Still severe drought. Pinellas, Hillsborough. Can't believe it. Who would have thought? Now we'll get a new map out Thursday. We'll see what they say a couple days from now on that. Oh, anyway, all right. So that's what we're doing. Lisa Reed, thank you. Idalia. Mike Soul. What about the flooding we got? Mike, I just still can't get over the flooding. Is it going to hit Tampa? No. I heat and no one knows. Right now, it looks like it's going to curve off the East Coast, but I'd be irresponsible to say it's going to curve off the East Coast, and I'd be really irresponsible to say the East Coast should be watching really close. How about the East Coast should be watching? How about that? Because if I say if the East Coast should be watching real close means oh no. So Bermuda should be watching Invest 95 real close. East Coast should be watching it with one eye open. That's what I used to say. One eye. It's a one eye alert. How about that? Bermuda's a 2-eye alert. East Coast, like a hangover 1-eye alert. Hangover 1 eye is a lot less than a 1 eye sober. So I'm giving the East Coast a 1-eye hangover alert. And that's all you can do. I feel there's a lot of witch casting going on out there right now. I don't know why. Until there's a reason. I put a thank you, Felice, on the doctor comment. I should be fine, I hope. What's up, Lori Rye? Yeah, I worry about y'all right there getting that big one. Luckily, I just showed that cool water might weaken it some. And a lot of it could be the cooler water. Tropical Tidbits is showing. Let's see what the GFS shows, even though we don't use it much. I'm just curious on if they're all showing a weakening. So they're showing a 930, a little bit of weakening, still potential major, but it goes from a 936 to a 958 near Bermuda. The euro goes 930s, 929, 28 to a 964. That's a huge, still a strong hurricane, but 920 to 960 is a lot better than 960 to 920. A little bit of weakening in the Canadian model, showing 970 to 980 right there. Never really deep, but the Canadian's more about the track at this point. So hopefully it weakens on its track northward for you guys up there in Bermuda. But then we'll see. I don't know. I'm real curious from here on out. We'll look at all the models. 12Z will be coming out soon, and we'll see. So, all right, cool. Well, I'm going to roll. I got to get ready. I got to go to the dock. So, thanks, Shelly. Welcome back. We had a weekend. Be live tomorrow on Thursday, 100%. Friday's a little up in the air. I might be down in Boca. I might do a live one from a hotel room. I'm all set up mobily now, so I'm not worried about it. But Jamie wants to know about the winter. Well, we're in an El Nino winter. It's going to be cooler and wetter and stormier in the south, warmer in the north. Could be a big stormy winter for southeast Florida if El Nino kicks in. What's up, Mr. Dale? Get your window fixed, Dale? What's up with your window, man? Give me a window update. Annie, Bahamas, so far everything's showing this thing to probably turn, but, I guess there's two ways to report things. One, it's coming for you, and two, it's not. So as of right now, majority of models have it turning away from the Bahamas. We just know history says, hey, Irma, Florence, others track a little bit more west sometimes. High pressure builds back in quicker. Fronts are a little weaker. We've already had a front, though. So we'll see. Thank you, Mr. Dave Tuttle. Appreciate it. Goes to the body shop today. Body shop for a window. I would have just used clear Gorilla Tape. Katie, I love the picture the other day you just put up of our Brew Crew reunion. Stacy Wilson, you're welcome. Thank you. Nancy Powers, thank you. Delgado, Andrew, yep, went more west. So there you go. Anything else? Hopefully it's just I did print up my last 10 years of. He wants to see my last 10 years of physicals. Hey, who put in a comment? Julie Davis, appreciate that. Larry Anderson, let me tell you, man, that video I showed at the beginning was 8 to 60 miles off the coast, and I was like a broken record telling people that this storm was going to be bad, and nobody wanted to talk about it. But that was a wake-up call for Tampa Bay, because it was 100 miles off our coast. Let me tell you what happened with this whole surge thing. So everybody was wrapped up into the night coverage before, but the storm wasn't going to do anything for our area until it passed to the north because of the winds. The winds had to go to our north to start blowing in from the southwest. So when we had low tide morning, noontime, we never had a low tide because the winds were still being pushed in. So the low tide couldn't escape the bay or anywhere across the west central coast all the way up, Homosassa, Tarpon, Crystal River. So low tide was non-existent the day after. Then when the tide switched back to high tide in the afternoon, it came in even higher. So there was a lot of like, holy cow. The day after, surge was more than the initial surge because of that low tide never went out. High tide was being pushed in back with a southwest wind from the system, way to the north. So that's exactly what happened with Ada. Low tide never went out that day, and high tide was magnified. So, yeah, you think about a storm 100 miles off the coast. So, all right, cool. We will see everybody tomorrow. Promise. And I got dinner with Mom and Dad tonight. Meeting up with Jason and the Furman guys later. But I'll be here in the morning. One eye hangover alert. See ya.